Another $9 billion being developed across Omaha. So you got the streetcar project, the Mutual of Omaha Tower, the airport. Obviously, you just mentioned the riverfront. You said you look in 5 years and things will be different. What does that mean for Omaha, and what does it mean for people from our side of town, the north side?
It's needed. The developments are there. We have a lot of open lots that need that development and that need to create more connectivity within this. This is the problem. They do, but we've not got the zoning to do it yet.
Oh, it's a zoning thing that exists around Omaha. And it seems, especially with the larger investments, you know, the only one I can really point to is probably 75 North. And I don't know how well designed that is for like frequent visiting. What's up, folks? We're back at the Content Parlor. I'm your host, Dion. You can find me on social media at dion.api. Got a guest here today, somebody who is vibrant, very green today. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll get into our formalities.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eliana Nichols, and I am the proud owner of 80s Beauty Parlor, where we focus in creating a vibrant look in hair, nails, and just your aura and your spirit. And then also I have a background in urban development, so I've gotten to work with some of the nonprofits such as Spark CDI and also Habitat for Humanity within their development side, and focusing in that for my last 2 years of college, which was great, in urban development and strategic planning. And so that's kind of the world that I've been thrown into and fell in love with. And then this last year, I've gotten to work with 24th Street with its developments and a lot of their new up and coming projects. So that's been amazing to watch. The growth and development. And then I got to run into you with your amazing business on 24th Street, bringing Black-owned excellence within marketing. So we were able to connect and cross paths. So
appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's been a joy meeting you. Had to get you on here. Guys, make sure you go out and follow the Content Parlor on your favorite social media platform, or on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. YouTube for the full episodes, and then make sure you hit the bell notification so you get the latest updates. We're going to talk a little bit about urban development, urban design, urban planning. Some terms I probably don't even know a whole lot about, so I'm not authorized to speak, and that's why we got you here today. As we open up this conversation, I just want to just talk about everything that's happening in Omaha.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a lot of beautiful changes coming. I think
tons of changes.
You stay in Omaha 5 years later, it'll look different. And I think that it keeps changing. And even though they like to say we're super small, but we're mighty, I think the fact that we have such a community, because we are so tiny, that it moves really fast. And I think when you have big players like Creighton, which is developing a lot of North Omaha, and you've got the Jean Leahy Mall, which is taking a lot and it's expanding. You got the riverfront, it's expanding. So it's a lot. It's amazing. Omaha it excites me to see all the new developments that are coming here every day. Yeah,
it's really exciting. A lot of them are publicized. There's several that aren't publicized. I know, for example, North End Teleservices has a lot of buzz right now on 24th and Lake Street. Over $400 million right now pouring into North Omaha. And then, you know, I saw a study on, I believe it was Visit Omaha, and they talked about another $9 billion being developed across Omaha. So you got the streetcar project, the Mutual of Omaha Tower, the airport. Obviously, you just mentioned the riverfront. But then you got the Mercantile, Campus Quadrangle, you've got Avenue 1, the Crossroads is about to start.
Yeah, the Crossroads, I cannot
They just built a new library
right across the street with Do Space. And that's going to be really, really nice for, I think, student-wise, having a place where you can have that digital library, you can also have that space where you can go and create, which Do Space had at the beginning of it with the 3D printers, with the office areas, with the kid labs, bringing that together. I think that was such a cool partnership. And then now with Crossroads being across the street, they've got new developments coming in. They brought in the Mega Saver, which is gas, which brings people, which a lot of people don't even understand how developmentally sound and cool gas stations are, because people who might not ever come into your area will come into your area now because they need gas.
Interesting.
And it's like now it's another convenience stop, right? So how can we get you to the next area?
Yeah,
so
let me pause you right there.
Go ahead.
I just realized we didn't turn off the air conditioner. All right, so let's see here. We were talking about the Visit Omaha report that showed $9 billion in development. So what is your reaction to all of this development? What does that mean for Omaha in terms of you said you look in 5 years and things will be different. What does that mean for Omaha, and what does it mean for people from our side of town, the north side?
Take advantage of it. First thing I would start saying is to actually look into what is coming. Like, we have a beautiful learning center on 24th Street, and I don't think a lot of the parents know about all of the activities and the things that are actually coming out of the learning center. What I'd say, it's needed. The $9 billion that is getting pumped into our city, it's needed. The developments are there. We have a lot of open lots that need that development and that need to create more connectivity within the city. And I think that's how we're able to do it, is by pumping that money in. I'm not the hugest supporter of the streetcar, but this is going to cause connectivity. This is going to allow for people to be able to use different ways of multi-mobility throughout our city. But for me, I think we have to be very intentional about where we spend this $9 billion at, and I think they are doing that outstandingly. Like, there's a lot of things that are coming. The riverfront, beautiful. I just would love to start seeing more of that money get poured into the underdogs, the smaller, the One Omahas, the Spark CDIs, that the smaller organizations that need it for development processes, even Omaha 100, right? That also helps us get into that affordable housing and how do we get
talk about.
we're gonna get into it, because I think that's something that I think we can develop all we want, but that doesn't mean people can afford it. That doesn't mean people can actually get into those spaces and actually use it.
It's like who are we developing for? Because I think about even like the streetcar. I think the streetcar project is great. The Orbit bus line is great. And Orbit has talked about this, and they're aware of it, but a lot of these projects run east to west, which when you talk about connectivity, a lot of the communities that are disconnected are north to south. So it'd be nice to see, okay, that's fine. I don't think our part of town, we don't have a problem with things running east to west, but we'd also like a connection north to south as well, because those communities, when tapped into the greater economic system of Omaha, will have access to some of those bigger experiences. I think the other part with it,
I'll say that just in Omaha, if you're looking at north versus south population, you're in two different climates. You're in two different cultural climates, right? And so it's like, if I say I'm going to develop in South Omaha, it's going to need to look completely different than me saying I develop in North Omaha. And I hear everyone's like, yes, we need to develop north to south. A lot of development is happening north and south, right? And it might not be the streets as us connecting us. So like you have the Dodge Expressway that takes you from east all the way out west. And that's your one to many ways of transporting out there, right? You also have from 13th Street or 24th Street, you can take that, go all the way down, right? And you have these things of being connected, or ways of being connected. I just don't think that we use it enough, right? you know? Because even if you say it, I look at it this way, and I've always looked at it this way. You can get on 13th Street and go from 13th Street, go all the way to the Henry Doorly Zoo and go all the way back down. And you can see two different worlds of culture, two different ways of how communities will build together or build separately.
But you don't think that if because a lot of the development that's happening is happening in places that already had development. Like I think about 24th and 24th and Lake Street to 24th and Ames Street. Not a whole lot of development is happening between that corridor in terms of $9 billion. You know, I haven't seen a 75 North type of development pop up between 24th and Lake and Ames Street, for example. And maybe it's not the right spot, but there's really nothing at a large scale developing. Like I said, it's nice to be able to point to Carmen's project.
Carmen's project is great. That is coming on 24th Street. There is a lot of actual projects coming. You've got Morningstar. They're coming out with their next rec center project that's coming out on 24th Street. You have the it's a parking lot coming. You've got the new North Omaha tour. You worked with
Visitor Center.
Visitor Center.
Yeah, that would be slightly south of Lake, but that
I mean,
give it credit where credit's due.
We're opening it up. You've got Omaha Star that's getting their new facelift. You've got the Union. You've got Noma. Noma's getting a new facelift, prayerfully. You've got, and once Noma gets theirs, that'll open up that live scenery too as well, because they'll have that open deck. There'll be live music outside. That opens up a whole nother thing. You've also got the Carter Legacy Fund, Carter Legacy banking over there. They're hopefully going to expand even more. So you've got people who are playing on 24th Street. We just don't know about it. And that's the problem. Like my even Spot Network or Network Spot.
Yeah, Network
Spot. Beautiful space.
Yeah.
Don't know nothing about it. Don't know how to use it. Don't know who to get in contact with.
Yeah.
It's great space. Looks beautiful, but it's not connecting at the way that it should be. And maybe that's from marketing. Maybe that's not just handing it out. How are we creating that outreach around our organizations that we say we want to do all these things for, like North Teleservices?
Yeah.
Like, that project is going to be amazing once it's finished.
Yeah.
But there's no momentum around it. People are looking at it and like, why is this an empty lot? They don't know what's going on. Just like you didn't know Morningstar is the next church over, and they're getting a lot. Yeah. And they're going to be developing.
Well, marketing is an important part of what folks should be doing. So shout out to Stable Gray. All right. Hire Stable Gray and get you some marketing so people know what you're doing. So as we pivot away from that, because I think there's some points where we, just like with anyone, where we agree and maybe we have some differing opinions. Let's talk about, as we look at the city of Omaha, and particularly looking at how the city has designed spaces for people of color. I was just at Native Omaha Days.
Yes.
I saw what appeared to be in excess of 10,000, maybe in excess of 15,000 people of color. You know,
we're
got a little bit of everything.
We're here.
It seems like we're here.
We're here.
It seems like we're here. So as we see that, we don't see like those types of numbers really come out to a lot of the spaces that exist around Omaha. And it seems, especially with the larger investments, you know, the only one I can really point to is probably 75 North. And I don't know how well designed that is for like frequent visiting. Okay. I think the restaurant space theoretically is a good space, but the design, like to get to it and shop at it, and the reasons to stay around that area aren't quite there yet. Now I know they are developing on the other side of the street as well. Yeah. But can you talk about what the opportunity is for these developers to incorporate things into their spaces that encourage folks of color to come in and shop?
Okay. What I would say is, how do you connect to people of color is understanding the culture. at first. Like, you have to understand how our mannerisms may be different from another group and their culture and their customs and their community. Also, benefiting within the community is going to get you way farther. With 75 North, one thing that I can admire that they do, right, is they partner with No More Empty Pots, right? And they partner with the other small businesses that are in there. And they try to have nights on the yard. They try to bring in with those community connective events. I think it needs to be broadcasted more. Again, marketing has to be stronger for people to understand and connect it to those things. Like, when I hear 75 North, I don't want to just think about the apartment complex. I want to think about, the fact that they're going out and they're creating affordable housing for this community that's getting gentrified and disconnected from the original standing, maybe rising property tax because the houses are coming in. How are we thinking about it in that way and in that space? Right now, I think Native Omaha Days is one of the best ways to show that Black people will come out. If you have the culture there and the connectivity there, we will show up.
Yeah.
And we will bring our dancers, we'll bring our best, we'll have the best time. And I wish we had more things like that. I think I wish we had more organizations that focused in just purely on connectivity. Like the beauty, I got to work with We Design Omaha, and they work on the comprehensive plan, or Omaha by Design.
Oh, okay.
Omaha by Design, or Remake Omaha. Yes, Omaha by Design. I got to work with them for their comprehensive plan, and we got to do some facilitating all for their different districts. And then one thing that I consistently heard within the districts that I've gotten is they want somewhere to connect. They want ways for the community to feel that they're being heard and they're being listened to, and they're connecting to not only their community but the outside districts, or where can we go to do these things. And so what I would say for our Black community is, how do we connect where we're at right now, and how do we connect to the other districts and the other communities? Because it can't just be here. We don't have everything.
Right.
That's just facts. We barely have a grocery store. That's one thing that I'm so upset with. In North Omaha, you only have the Aldi's on 30th Street and the Ames Walmart.
Yeah.
Why is there no other grocery stores closer by? And why aren't people talking about that? Because the food desert, you're not getting fresh produce into your food.
Yeah.
Like, that is detrimental for your kids.
Yeah,
Not only,
that's good.
and that's something I'm very passionate about. More grocery stores. One thing they teach you about in public administration and just strategic planning within city design is you need three things. You need a bank, you need a school, you need a grocery store. And people will come. If you build those things, people will come at masses.
Right.
And I feel like also another thing we don't really pay attention to is the schools on North Omaha. We've got Howard Kennedy. When was the last time Howard Kennedy got a facelift? Our kids deserve
a real facelift.
Real facelift. And that's what I mean. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Why is the park still the same park that it was when I was a kid? There's certain things that I think we can tackle for our youth, which will help us build for a better future. So that's another thing I think within the Black communities and within our spaces, we need to start looking at more of just them, and then how can we build up?
Yeah,
because
folks will talk about, like Miller Park, and
yes.
The school across the street is Mandela, I believe it is.
Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela is actually a beautiful education program for, it's a free private school for your student who, some of us as a parent may not be able to afford that for our child, but you're able to get them into school that goes year round. They're getting a good education. They have field trips. It's a very beautiful, beautiful program that I send to the praises. And then also we have across the street, you have Candace's project, which will be a new development, which will be an apartment complex, which will hopefully be 4 to 5 units.
I'm taking a note here.
Yes.
You gave me an idea.
And so you've gotten all of these beautiful things that are coming to Omaha in the North Omaha community.
Yeah.
And for us, we need to be ready. We need to be prepared. And we need to know how we can also get in on this.
Right. Because I think about because I was in Charlotte in May.
Oh, and Charlotte is beautiful, and just their blackness.
Yeah, and it's so much like Omaha.
Yeah,
I mean, when you go out there, you fly out there, and you're just like, all right, and you see like all these huge palm trees, and it's just gonna it looks just like Omaha. Obviously, the roads are a little different. They got a little bit different nature makeup, but a lot of it's very familiar. The restaurants there, the food places, they have a lot of the same. I think I saw a Quick Trip out there. I saw, a lot of the restaurants that you'll see here. And I just feel like Charlotte is a good model if folks are looking at ways to enhance that connectivity, that connective tissue, is to look at like how Charlotte does it. I was at a restaurant.
Charlotte actually is our city that they actually are studying. It's Charlotte, it's Ohio, it's Cleveland, and it's one weird place. I think it's like Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
But Omaha studies those things. That's the beauty of like our city, because we are so small. We study the bigger cities, and we talk about how they connect and how they're moving, and that's something that you spend a lot of time in school, is actually studying other cities. That's what a lot of people don't know. Within strategic planning, a lot of our plans are already written out by somebody else. We learn how to mold it into where we're at. So like if you come to me with a problem, let's say it's we need more connectivity, right, from north to south. So we look at Charlotte, we'll look at Ohio, we'll look at Cleveland, and we'll be like, oh, so this is how they're doing it to get other people around and things like that. And I think that's what our previous mayor was looking at, was like places like Minnesota, and where they have the trains and places that benefits for them. And so we're trying to figure that out and mix us into that. Does it always work? We'll have to see. We don't have it yet. But that's something we literally pulled their streetcar and put it here.
It's definitely good to hear as a common folk when it comes to urban planning, because on the ground level, it just looks like, and I talk about that $9 billion of development. It just looks like North Omaha is just always glossed over, and we're such a big economic base. I can understand if there's like fear of getting your investment back, but we're a strong economic base. So I just don't understand why technologists, entrepreneurial types don't see opportunity to put complexes and facilities, restaurants, grocery stores in North Omaha.
They do. This is the problem. They do, but we've not got the zoning to do it yet.
Oh, it's a zoning thing as well.
Oh, great. Hippie to the high. Yay. I want this. I want commercial. I want this. I want. But zoning will not allow you to do certain things.
Now, I've heard this multiple, because I have an architect friend who talks about how much rezoning he has to go through. So this zoning is a big factor with getting
a huge issue within development.
Is good to know.
And I think that's one thing I've talked to Mayor John Ewan about, is our zoning. Can we get a real good handle on that? Like, I hear you guys just go apply to the strategic. You go to the planning office and you ask to get it rezoned. But it's like, these things should be able to keep changing with the time. I get 24th Street was a business district. A lot of that was housing and commercial, and it's only been zoned for that. Let's revise that a little bit. Hey, I hear you, but let's think about where we are now and what we need to keep going to. But that is a huge problem. I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, why don't they develop? And then you got these people who get lots of land, get all these lots, and they buy it up like crazy. And then they find out that they're going to be under, and then they didn't want to develop. So, and that's a huge thing too. You'll meet people, and I've read a lot of margins now and got into understanding that. A lot of people in their first to 4 to 5 years are under, and they're not making their money back from their development. And right now, with the cost of how much things are costing to build stick builds, but the thing is, I love what people are starting to get into, which is module building, which I think Omaha needs to start investing more into that module building, where I can get a house 8 weeks flat, get it here, and we can start pumping more of these new developments out faster. But stick builds, great, amazing, but they're costing a lot,
Right,
and they're causing a lot more issues. But I think that's something that there has to be a conversation about. And I think within the city, if we're really talking about new development and how we want to keep going, we have to look into Module. Module is starting to get enough to where we're getting 10-unit apartments on Module builds, and people are just going as excessive as they want inside of these warehouses and getting them shipped to where they need it to go. So it's like, how are we intermixing that with our new development? How are we moving our zonings out? How are we adding these puzzle pieces that I think are missing? We have the puzzle. It's just like some are gone.
Gotcha.
And we just need to start plugging them in, I think. And then Omaha, that $9 billion, it'll just keep going, because now it's like it's just a good start, because now you've got these projects, and now they're like, oh, there's a rec center on 24th Street. Now we need a pool.
Right.
Oh, now we need the school needs to get redone, because those kids that can go to the rec center can't go to the school, and it looks the same. Boom, 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 and it just falls. And even now, like, getting to work on the development for the multi-mobility build for the North Omaha Trail, that opened up my eyes on how important it is to understand that there's so many other worlds within the city. So like the people who don't drive a car, how are we helping them out just as much as we are helping the people who drive a car?
That's key,
And so what makes it more accessible for them to leave their house?
Right.
How are they getting out their house to go somewhere if there's nothing there to go to? Why would I want to? And getting to do the outreach side of the North Omaha Trail, where you get a lot of Black people who are like, why the hell do we need a trail? We don't get out and bike. It's like, no, but we are putting it out there so that now your son will be like, ooh, I can go bike. I know where I can ride it. I know what I can do. I know where I can go, Mom. That's what it's for. It's not. And I think people got to get away from that. Oh, what about me? Why am I? Let it go, because it's about that generational thing.
No, this has been a good conversation. I mean, we could literally be here all day having this conversation. So we will wrap this up. But I just, the general sense I'm getting from this is how we build not only Omaha, but we build the next generation of creatives. The workforce is changing. Those traditional jobs are not going to be there, and we need to start thinking about the design and how we can incorporate these things into the spaces where we create for people as the workforce changes. So this has been a very helpful conversation. We got to have you back on again to unpack a little bit more. We're going to leave everybody with the cliffhanger. Any final remarks?
Y'all, please come check out 80s BP as well. Check us out on all social media. 80s ADDIES BP. And then also our podcast that we have, which is EO5, The Chat, the podcast you want to be at, where we have real and authentic conversations at. And so we dive into things like this. We'll talk about business structures and get into more of my nerdy world of urban development, I think, and just talk about also beauty, since that is a huge aspect that we have at the salon. And that would be my last shout out, which I thank you so much for having me on the podcast. And whenever you want to talk about developments or what I love to call a thriving community that we'll be able to have, I'm all down for it. And then I feel like next time I got to bring some more strategic planners on with me, or some more urban planners. So
please do. We got 8 mics, so we can we can build it up.
I'm literally my contact.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on. The other thing I would say is just that the Content Parlor is a social club for content creators. All right. So if you need access to a studio, if you need equipment, all this equipment, everything we're using to produce this show is available for rent, including the space. We started just $50 an hour. So if you're not able to create the content you want, you're literally slipping at this point. You literally don't even have to go out of North Omaha.
Nope.
All right. So tap in with us.
Right here.
It's right here.
In the 402 the real side. I love to say that the north side. we've got actual businesses and thriving communities and thriving community members who are here to help. So
yeah.
I love this space. I might bring the podcast here. I'm for sure going to bring the podcast here. And we'll rent out the space for a little bit to change up the scenery. So y'all might need to just do that for y'all podcast. So.
Facts. Well, we appreciate you, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.